Hi everybody, today what we're going to do, I'm going to pull something over onto your screen. Today what we're going to do is we're going to draw a multi-view. This is going to be the first one that we do. This is for the web app, of course. We're going to draw this shape. It's a clamp plate. And the first thing we need to do is we need to determine how many views we need to draw. What's the front? Remember, the front is the most detailed. And your first instinct would be to look and go, oh, here's the most detail because it's got the most stuff happening on it. But if we draw this as the front, yeah, it's going to have a couple of circles on it to represent the holes. But look, rectangle, 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 rectangle. All we're going to see is 4 rectangles with a couple of circles. But if we look at it this way, we get this upside down F shape. That best describes the overall shape of the object. So let's let this be our front view. Now, how many views do we need to draw? Remember, we draw as many views as needed to fully describe the object. Every feature must appear visible at least once. So, this F shape, so this platform and this platform, we see where they're located at really plainly in the front view, if this is our front view. Okay? The holes only appear visible this way, so this would be our right side. So again, this is kind of odd because usually our front view left to right is width, and that's usually our biggest dimension. But on occasion, we will draw this. Now, some people may say, oh, that's the left view in the front view. That's sort of semantics. So whichever way you want to call it, I'm good. I'm happy. But I would say front view and right side. Okay? So again, let's get started. What we need to do is we need to draw us a box. We need our overall height and our overall width. This object is 5.25, which is 5 1/4, by 1.625, which is 1 5/8. So let's go into our web app. Now, notice, I'm in the web app. Remember, if you're going to have that to where you can share it with somebody, the best thing to do is work out of your Google Drive, okay? So I'm going to go into my Google Drive. And I've got my drawings in there, and I'm going to have to scroll down. I'm going to go to my Drafting 1 folder. I'm going to go to my templates. And I'm going to open up my template inches and all that good stuff, okay? So I'm going to click on it. Okay. And I'm going to say open. Doesn't want to do it. So why not? Ah, look. All of a sudden it dawns on me. That's not the right drawing because it's black. If you ever have that happen, that's what it is. This is a backup file. Oh, template inches. Now watch. Click, click, click. There it comes. You got to watch that stuff, okay? All right, so here's our screen. Remember our size? Look at there. 5.25, 5 1/4 by 1.625, 1 5/8. So let's go to line. I'm going to start at the top and come down. So I'm going to make it 5.25 or, look what I did. I typed in 2.25, 5.25. Or, remember our other option is 5-1/4, which is the exact same thing. Okay. Now here's the problem. Look, it kind of runs it off the screen. So what I did was I rolled my roller wheel and zoomed out and out. And then I mashed it down, held it, and panned, and got it where I wanted it, okay? I'm going to zoom back in just a little bit. There we go. Now, it was 1 5/8 wide, so 1.625 or 1-5/8. There it is. Make your box. Hover, drag across, click, drag back across, click. There's my box. Say confirm. Now, how wide is it? 4.625, 4 5/8. Same height, okay? So what I do, if I'm just drawing a multi-view, remember, I'll come over and start my first point 1 inch away. Now, 4.625. There we go. I'm going to come up here and hover on that corner using that object tracking. Click, come back. Sorry about that. Click and drag up. And I'll get my crossing, which is a triangulation, and drag back down. So there's my outside box. Okay? And say confirm. So we're good there. So what do we need to do? Well, let's draw these platforms. Let's draw this shape. Okay? So this first one is up 1/2 of an inch. and it's in, it says 0.438. What an odd number. Well, if you'll remember back, 0.438, and again, this is where you really want to use actual numbers. Okay? That means you're going to have that cheat sheet with decimal equivalents. If you look on your cheat sheet, 0.438 is actually 0.4375. Okay? So how about 0.44 if we go to 2 decimal places? That's a 1/16 smaller than a 1/2 inch. So that's actually, if we do it that way, that's going to be 7/16. Okay? So it's a 1/2 inch tall and 7/16 deep. And that's from the right side. So let's go back and do that. So line, hover, drag up, and how far? 1/2 of an inch. Now how far in? 7/16. Right there. Okay? There's where that one goes. Now look what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw me a line out here, and I'm going to draw it long, and just hit confirm. Didn't put a length in, just drew it. So now, between these two platforms, 1.688. It's actually 1.6. Do you know the rest of it? 6875. Okay? So 688. That's one of them numbers that, you know, what do I do in a case like that? Well, I'll tell you, you're probably wanting to go and open up your cheat sheet. File, let's see if I can get to it. I think I can right here. So what I'm going to do here is, so hunting around and trying to find it, I know where it's at in mine. Of course, you've got it in yours easy, but mine's right here. So I'll say open this, and there is my cheat sheet. So 1.688, 688, there it is. It's 11/16. Okay, so it is 1.6875 is the entire number. So it's 11/16. Okay, so we go back to our web app. So now, that's from this platform up. Now, that's important that you got to remember that. See, that's from here to here. It's not from the bottom. Okay, so 1, and what did we say? Do you remember? 11/16. 1 and 11/16 up. Okay? So I'm going to go to line. I'm going to hover here, drag up, start dragging 1-11/16. There it is. And hit confirm. Okay. Now, how much room between? So what's this? 2.6875 from the bottom up. So 2 and 11/16 from the bottom. Make sure you get it to the right place. You have to pay attention to where your arrows are at. Okay. So 2 and 11/16 from the bottom. So again, back into line, hover, start dragging. Now here, notice I don't get up into that line. You may want to zoom in a little bit. Hover, start dragging up 2-11/16. There's the top of that platform. So now I can click on this line, and I can drag this grip back down, and you want to zoom in. We don't want the midpoint. We want that point right there. Okay? So that's got that. Now if we go back and look at our picture, look. I can start cleaning up some stuff. This is 11/16 deep. Look here, this little upright part. So it looks kind of like a piano. Do y'all see that shape? Like an upright piano? So it's 11/16 deep. The reason why I know it, 0.688, look, 1.688, 2.688. So that's just 11/16. But that is from this edge. Do you notice this little image here? They're kind of showing you what to draw. So from here to here is 11/16. Okay, so let's go do that. So a line. Uh-oh. Turn to drawing. I about messed up. Line. Hover. Let's zoom in here so we can see what we're doing. Hover, drag in, and now say 11/16. There it is. Down. How far down? Well, it ends right here at that platform. Click. There we go. Hit confirm. Now, take this and push it over to here. There we go. Now all we need to do is trim. Go into our modify, say trim. I'm going to get both of these at one time. There we go. And now I'm going to zoom out and get that one. So there we go. There's that shape. Okay? Now, remember, if it's a height in the front view, it's a height in the side view. So our overall height from there to there, notice it's the exact same here to here. But look, this platform from here up is a height. From here to here is a height. From here to here is a height. So when we look at it this way, look, we will see the rectangles. These 4 rectangles. So let's go back and do that. And it's really simple because now we can project between views. So I can go to draw. I can go to line. And remember, you should be working, if we click on our layers, we should be working in the object layer. If you're not, you can click on properties and change it for each one that you've got drawn. So I'm going to hover here. I'm going to drag across, click, drag across. It goes all the way across and click. Hit confirm. There's that first little rectangle. I'm going to go right back into the line command. I'm going to hover here, drag across and click, all the way across and click. Okay? Confirm, and one more time. And I could have used the copy command to do it. Now look, it's wanting to jump to the midpoint. See, there is a height difference. So if you're going to do this, you need to zoom in to where you can get to the X. And if it's not giving it to you, maybe you're worried about it. This may be where you want to go to modify, say copy. Pick this object to copy. Now hit enter and say confirm, or say confirm selection down here. Now specify base point. Look, we know that lines up with that, so click here. Now where do you want to move it to? Here at this height. Okay? And then say confirm. So if it won't do it, if it wants to jump to the wrong point, that's the easy way to fix that. Okay? So there, look, there's that shape. There's our 4 rectangles. So what have we got left? Let's go back and look. Oh, 2 holes. So from the left-hand side of this view, it's in 1 1/4. And then there's 2 1/8 between them. It's up 1.312. Now, do you remember what 0.312 is? So if we go out, come down here, 312, 5/16. 5/16, okay? So let's take care of that first. That makes that easy to fix, okay? So it is from the platform up 1 5/16. Okay, so let's go do that. So let's say line. And now again, zoom in, because you don't want the midpoint, you want the end point. Hover. Now look, it's trying to grab that midpoint. So you may need to hit escape, come back, and again, make sure you get on that now. Is it tracking from the right place? X. Oh no, it's trying to jump again. So zoom way in. Now let's try it, see if it'll let us do it. X, drag up. I think we've got it now, okay? So let's go 1 5/16. 1 5/16. Okay, we've got to zoom back out. And I'm going to draw this line all the way across, just to have it in the right place. I'm going to hit confirm. Is it in the right place? Ooh, not sure. Let's go to annotate, and let's use this little tool here, measure. If we get between them, it'll show you width and height. This is called quick measure. If we click on distance, and now I'm going to get the midpoint of this line to the midpoint of that line, 1.31. Let's go back and look. Remember, it's rounded to 2 places, 1.31. Yep, so it's good. So we got it in the right place, okay? So now our distance here we said was 1 1/4 and then 2 1/8 between them. Okay, so let's go back to our drawing. Let's go to draw. Let's go to line. I'm going to hover here. I'm going to drag over and I'm going to say 1.25, or we could say 1-1/4. Either one's fine. And I'm going to draw all the way down. Okay, so there it is. Now I need one just exactly like it, 2 1/8 over. I could do the same thing. Hover, drag across, draw, and get it in the right place. Okay? Or I could copy the whole thing when I get it done. Either one works. Okay? So let's go ahead and draw us a circle here. Let's see how big that circle was. 2 of them, 0.812. There's one of them funny numbers again. 0.812. 0.812. 13/16. So, diameter of 13/16. So we go back into our program. Circle. Now remember, it's diameter, so it wants its center point right there. Now click here for diameter. And how big? 13/16. There we go. That's how big it is. Okay. Now again, I want it just exactly like it over here. It's 2 1/8 between them. Well, I'm going to do a couple of little things first. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to hold down my Shift key, and I'm going to click on this. So I get them both. I'm going to change those. I'm going to click on my properties. I'm going to change their layer to center. Okay, there's the first thing I'm going to do. Now, I want my center lines to be 1/4 inch past. So if you remember, we can go to Modify, go to Offset, but notice, look, select Object. We want distance. Remember, hit Exit, right click and say Repeat Last Command. Now, there's our distance, 0.25. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go out. Okay? Now I want to use Trim. I want to get rid of this, I want to get rid of this, and I want to get rid of that. Okay? So there's all that. So you say, well, why don't I do that one? Okay, I'll do that one. I could leave it and end up changing this because I want to leave the center line going all the way across between the two. But I can also use another command, which it'll show you how to use it. So I think I will. So let's click on it and get rid of it. Okay, say Confirm. Now all we have to do is just delete that outer circle. So there it is. Now how do we get one just like it over here? Remember, it's 2 1/8 between them. See? 2 1/8, 2.125. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Copy. And I'm going to mash my left mouse button down and drag across all of it. I want to get all of it. So there we go. Now I'm going to say Confirm Selection. Now it asks for my base point. I can get on the midpoint. I can get on the end point. It doesn't matter because I just want to be the exact distance away from that center line right there. So I'm going to click here. Now I'm going to start going this way. And remember, it's 2.125 or 2-1/8. So it goes right there. And say Confirm. There's where they go. So how do I get those two center lines to be one? Well, notice if we look down here, we've actually got the little command showing Join. So select Source Object, that one. Select Object to join to it, okay, that one. Uh-oh. So what I need to do, hold my Shift key down, that one. Now it's got both of them by holding down the Shift key. Now say Confirm Selection. So you have to hold the Shift key down to get them both. Okay? There we go. Yes, I know it threw our little crosshairs off. If that really, really, really troubles you, then don't do it. Leave them like that. Okay? But AutoCAD does that because what it does is it spaces out the little short dashes from end to end. It doesn't take into account that they're in the center of a circle. Okay? It does this way because it's exactly the same distance here and here. So there we go. Now, here's the thing though. Remember, we've drawn all our visible edges and our center lines, but here's what we haven't drawn. Those holes are here in this object. We just can't see them. So what do? We draw the hidden lines. Remember the hidden lines? The hidden lines, so I'm going to go to Draw. I'm going to leave it. I've got my properties on. I'm going to leave my layer object. That's fine. We can change it if we wanted to, but let's click. And we want to start at the top of the circle, the quadrant. And I'm going to drag all the way across. Now I clicked there this time instead of hovering, okay? Just to show you that it lines up. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing at the bottom. Line Command, all the way across. And hit Confirm or Cancel. Now these, of course, are the exact same size, so we only need one set of lines to represent both circles. Now we can either use our grips or we can trim. We would have to trim twice to get rid of it. So it's just as quick to do this. So there we go. Okay. Now both of these are hidden lines. So I'm going to click and drag across. I'm holding down my left mouse button. There, I got them both. Change their layer. Look, it even tells me to. Drop down, say Hidden. And there we go. But this is a circular feature. It looks rectangular, don't it? We need to let somebody know this is a circle. So how are we going to do that? Well, we need a center line. And that center line should travel the direction of the hole. So the hole is drilled this way. So that's the direction of the hole. Okay? So again, we need to get that center line in there. It needs to come 1/4 inch out beyond each way because this is a circular feature. You can do one of two things. We can draw us a line here, do us an offset and an offset, and extend it out or stretch it out, or we can copy this one and then do one offset. Either way, we're going to have to manipulate it with offsets, so it really doesn't matter. So I think what I'll do is I think I will draw me a line. I'm going to hover here. This time I am going to hover. I'm going to drag across. I'm going to click. I'm going to click. Okay, there's my line. I know it's dead center because I came off of that. I could have drawn it from there to there and then drug it back. So there's that. Now, go into Modify, Offset. You might as well go right ahead and click Exit. Repeat last command. There's our distance, 0.25. And now offset both this one and this one. Hit Confirm. Now take this line, stretch it out to that. Stretch it out to, look, it's wanting to jump to a center point. Make sure you get an X. If it does that and it won't let you jump to that, here's what you do. Hit Extend. Now, look, click, and it'll push it out there. Okay? Delete. Delete. Click on that and change its layer to center. Now, if it's not big enough, it may leave that line solid. If it does, that's okay, as long as you know for a fact. If I click on it, it better tell me that it's on the center layer. If the line, according to AutoCAD, if this line is not long enough to put a dash in the middle of it, it'll leave it solid. Okay? So just know that. So there we go. So this piece of information is telling somebody, hey, you need to look somewhere else. Something's happening. What's happening? Not just one, but two holes the exact same size are drilled in this piece. See the cutouts? Remember, rectangular, 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 rectangular. There they are. Rectangle, 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 rectangle. So that's all the views we need to draw to fully describe this object. We don't need the top, bottom, left, or rear. Those two do it. Okay? So that's that for today, y'all. I hope it makes sense. Get it drawn, enjoy it, and we'll move on from here. Have a great day.